Welcome back for another book talk. Today I'm going to take you down memory lane. For Suspense Saturday, I'm going to talk about The Double Take by Roy Huggins. It's from 1946. It's an exciting story. You may or may not have heard of Roy Huggins, though, the author of this book, because he was a pretty big name in Hollywood. He helped create such TV shows as Maverick, The Fugitive, and The Rockford Files. He was very influential in Hollywood for a while. Big name. What's interesting, though, is that The Double Take as a novel was turned into a film later, but it was called I Love Trouble, and that's not to be confused with a later film of the same name. It is an older film that you can find online. I think I found it streaming on Amazon Prime. You could also potentially order it as a DVD or something if you want to watch it. What I found really fascinating from the novel to the film was that they managed to accomplish about maybe 70 to 80% of the plot of the novel, and then it was as if they ran out of budget money, or suddenly they were in a hurry, or they said, this film needs to only be exactly 90 minutes long. And they magically took the rest of the novel and swirled the elements together and resolved it brilliantly. I was really impressed because this is a hard-boiled detective story. The detective is a private eye who is hired by a man to investigate his wife, as this guy has found out that his wife has some sort of secret. Maybe she's not the person she says she is. She might have gone by a different name in the past, that sort of thing. And so the detective investigates this case and uncovers all sorts of red herrings and strange coincidences about identity with photographs and interviewing people and whether people think that this man's wife is the same woman in the photograph or not, or if that name is a different woman, or the name she used to go by, if that might actually be a different woman went by that name. There's a whole lot to it and how it's complicated, and he runs around gathering all the clues. It's a really fun story. I highly recommend that you give it a chance, even though, in my mind, to me, this book was only a 3 out of 5. That's because the book starts with, to me, weak prose and confusing scenes, but it makes up for it later. So to me, it was not a 4 or 5 star read just because I had to push through the beginning of the book in order to get there. Though I have to say, the film makes a lot of sense out of that. So you can see Roy Huggins very much knows how to develop screenplay, produce a show or a movie, perhaps better than he knows how to write the novel. And that's just fine when you consider the fact that most of what he did was working in film and TV, not necessarily working on writing books. But I wanted to honor Roy Huggins by buying this book and reading it and understanding it and watching the film based off of it because I am such a huge fan of Maverick, and I did not watch the TV show The Fugitive, the TV series, but I remember the Fugitive movies, and I did enjoy those, as well as I am a fan of the Rockford Files. I appreciate the hard work that Roy Huggins put in over the years, and sadly, when you know the story of this man's life and how he was treated by the people in Hollywood, you'll understand he was never paid what he was worth. In his lifetime, he didn't really get the respect that he should have in creating Maverick and putting all that together, and I hope to someday give you some more comprehensive videos about the TV series Maverick, because I've got a lot of books, believe it or not, that involve that TV show and that story and those characters, but let me get back to this story. It's called The Double Take. I think perhaps because of the way that we're dealing with different identities or different names, but also, when you get knocked over the head, it's hard to see. Sometimes you see double or your vision gets messed up. This is one of those hard-boiled detective stories where the guy gets clobbered over the head and he talks to a lot of dangerous people along the way. If nothing else, you have got to check out this book and movie to see an amazing moment where they have adapted the book to film and managed to cut out the last 20% of the story that's in the book when they convert it to film, because in a detective story with all the clues and the characters involved, you would think that's very hard to do. But it's awesome the way they do it in the film, because they basically just get the right characters in the room together to get those things spoken and talked through. And it did make me realize that some of the stuff that happened in the book, while it was fun and created suspense in the book, it just wasn't necessary. When it came time for them to make the film, they were able to just cut those scenes out, use some clever dialogue, work things around in the room, and it all came out like magic. I'd give it a recommend for that, as an experience in which you read the book and watch the film and compare them. Anyway, every day is a good day for a book talk. Peace.